Hi, I'm Kim Dildine, and this is Actor Talk. And tonight's guest is Geoff Mark, visual effects artist extraordinaire. Come on down, Geoff.
Hi, Kim. How you doing?
I'm doing great. First met Mark at the LA Scotch Club event a couple of years back.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, we were just talking at the last event about my Actor Talk interviews and what he does, and so we decided to do this, have this little chat.
Sure.
You've been at this now for roughly 15 years?
Has it been that long? My first paying gig doing visual effects was as a flying logo, so the company logo flying onto the screen, for the production company that did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
The cartoon at which I worked for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So, my first ongoing gig was third season of Babylon 5.
One of my favorite shows.
It was quite a challenging show to work on because we were inventing things as we went along. There were no schools for visual effects. Back then, most TV shows that had spaceships, like Star Trek, were doing them optically. Is the word. So in other words, they had a physical model of the Enterprise.
Right. Okay.
And you would light it in a certain way, and the camera would fly by it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would bring the camera back, and this is a motion-controlled camera. So on frame 1, it's here. On frame 2, it's here. Controlled every time. And then you would change the lighting so that just the blinky lights are on the ship. And then you would go again so that you could have the blinky lights do different things. And the stars were separate and all that. And if you got it wrong, you had to go back and do it all over again.
Really?
I never had to do that.
Okay.
However, the techniques that they used for that, I've studied. I've worked with the people who did them, Richard Edlund, who pioneered it, and I pretty much copy and paste those that same skill set, but do it in the computer where I can fix it a lot quicker.
Yeah, and I noticed some time back they were selling off all those props and things. So pretty much everything now is done on computer, right?
It depends on the project.
Yeah.
It depends on the show. A lot of spaceships, it's just easier to do in the computer. Creatures, robots and things, where it used to be a guy in a rubber suit. District 9, that movie, where nobody was in a rubber suit. It was live action in South Africa, but then there were these creatures running around, all CG. But then again, Where the Wild Things Are, that movie, it was an equal mix of CG monsters, people in suits, and animatronic, actual mechanized creatures, depending on the shot. So watching the behind the scenes on that was fascinating.
So, you do special effects, visual effects, 3D animation?
You've read my IMDb.
Yeah.
If I have any special effects credits at all, it was a mistake on whoever gave me the credit. Special effects is a different field. It's the on-set artists who do blood sometimes, but they'll do explosions, smoke, rain, anything that is dangerous where you could lose fingers on the set. You know a good special effects person, you just count their fingers. If they've got all 10 and they're over 30, they're probably pretty good. That is on set. That is special effects. What I do is visual effects, which is all in post in computers.
Okay.
Except for when I'm Visual Effects Supervisor. In other words, I am the representative of the visual effects team on set in production, making sure that the shots they get will work in post, or getting elements that they might need later with the second unit, so the actor rarely have anything to do with that, and make sure that all that stuff gets done.
So you've worked both on set and at a computer?
Yes.
Okay. So the visual effects supervisor is the person that actually interacts with the actor.
Yes, interacts with the actor, interacts with the director, if they know what they're doing, the way I prefer to do it, interacts with every team and every craft, every department. Because costumes can play a part, hair and makeup play a part, set building plays a part, lighting is a huge part of visual effects. Because visual effects, for better or worse, can replace or change all of that. And so working with the people who are making the real stuff, very important.
Makes it easier for the guy at the computer to make what he does all fit into what they do.
Not only that, but on the last TV show I worked on, which was Supah Ninjas, Nickelodeon, Saturday nights. It's a really good show. You should watch it. Live action kids and CG weapons, green screen and all that. For example, there was one scene where we knew the bad guy's lair probably had to be green screen. It was written in that he wore a shiny suit. Well, if you've got a shiny, literally like a silver lame or a gold lame suit and a green screen, his suit's just going to turn green from reflecting all of that. Right. So I worked with wardrobe and the director to get something that everybody was happy with and still would work with that green screen.
Okay, so what does the actor need to know in working in this situation where he's obviously working in green screen and he's not working against anything?
That's a good question. By the way, that's not the entirety of visual effects with actors, but we'll get back to the other part of it in a second. If something's going to go behind the actor in green screen or in front of the actor, a creature facing them in a two-shot, somebody somewhere knows what that creature probably looks like or is in the realm of looking like by the time you're shooting.
Okay.
Because that stuff has to be worked out in pre-production. There might be a sketch somewhere that the director has, or the art director has, or the visual effects supervisor has. If not, the actor and director and visual effects supervisor can work together to get the right eye line. For example, I worked on a TV show back in 2000. It was a pilot. The actress, Kim Fields, very experienced actress, had to look at a flying thing over her head, and it was... So, first take, second take, third take, she was looking at nothing. She was looking at different things every time, and nothing was going to line up in post. So I went back, got a stick from the prop department, had them paint green. This is over lunch. I'm getting all this done. Found a tennis ball, cut an X in it, shoved the stick in the green tennis ball. Came back and worked out with the director how the flying thing was going to fly. So now Kim could look at the green thing, which was a tennis ball flying. It didn't matter what it was, and I don't remember what it turned out to be, as it turns out. But whatever it was, she was looking right at something,
right,
each and every time. And then in post, we could put the CG something right over that ball, and it looked like the two of them were looking at each other. Little things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, an actor will do something, and there is no green screen, but they're not touching whatever it may be. In that case, I'll either ask that they rehearse with that something, if it's a weapon, maybe a wooden version of it or something, so they can get a sense of the weight and all of that, and then they can use their sense memory when they come back. Or I'll just explain it to them as best I can, whatever it might be. Or if it's an eyeline issue, find something on the wall that they can, focus on, or I'll stand there and, look at this, or whatever. Or we'll literally use gaffer's tape on the camera or on a C-stand somewhere for them to look at.
Right. Yeah, I've always, watched the sci-fi shows or whatever, and they're looking at a viewing screen or something and having to react with something that's not there, and it's got to be a whole different aspect of acting because you're supplying the image on the screen,
right,
as well as reacting to what it is that you're supplying. So it's kind of dual personality kind of.
It's a challenge to the imagination.
Yeah.
And I don't know how an actor prepares, although I have read that book. So I don't know all the things that go on in an actor's head to get to that point. However, as a visual effects supervisor, I am more than happy to give them all the information that I can to get to that point. What is going to be on that screen? Oh, well, it's a radar view and you can see your ship and you see the missile coming. Okay, I can work with that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a video of your uncle being blown up. Oh, okay, I can
Right.
work with that. Whatever it might be.
Right.
Because the visual effects supervisor knows what's going to be on that screen.
Yeah.
The director knows what's going to be on that screen.
So it actually would probably be advantageous to the actor in working on something like this to actually just ask questions.
That's the greatest thing they can do, in my book, because any visual effects supervisor worth their salt is going to know the answer, is going to want to tell the actor. On some sets, we're not allowed to talk to the actors, which is probably a good thing so that the director and the actors have their bubble of whatever
Right.
it is. So I totally understand that. However, the actor can ask me anything they want, and then I welcome it. The director probably knows too, but the director has 9 million things on their mind. So,
Right.
it could be the kind of thing where, hey, what's going to be on that screen?
Okay.
I actually know some visual effects supervisors who have taken the trouble to get into the DGA so that legally they can talk to actors just for that purpose.
Okay.
Well,
okay. There's a chain of command, so you just work through the chain of command.
Absolutely.
And whatnot, but it probably behooves the actor to seek out
ask somebody.
Yeah. Ask questions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Makes it easier for everybody.
And I think it'll make for a better performance and for a better project.
Better end result.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this has been very interesting. I appreciate you coming and talking today. This is Geoff Mark, visual effects extraordinaire.
Thank you.
And I'm Kim Dildine, and this is Actor Talk.